last name, Sabrina?
Clement.
And will you spell both of those just to have them on tape and to get them correct?
Sabrinaclement.
And why did you feel like it was important to come out here today?
Well, for obvious reasons, I am concerned about all just the killings and unrepented police officers. They're getting away with it. They have gotten away with it, and they're continuing to this day getting away with it. I just think that that time is past, is done, and it's time to make people pay that do things that are wrong and that can be proven that they've done wrong. And now that camera phones are out, it's kind of hard not to say that you did this thing wrong. And for those people that stand back and let that happen, they need to be prosecuted as well.
We've seen people rise up before when have happened, but not in these numbers. Do you feel like this time is different and we're going to see?
I feel like it's different for sure. I've never seen worldwide like that. I mean, that was abhorrent, and I actually went through some PTSD behind it, meaning that I cried so hard that I just couldn't stop crying. But everybody else got a chance to see,
everybody, we have food,
they are telling the truth.
water over that table, along with trash by that tree and recycling. We have first aid tent right over here with masks, hand sanitizer, gloves, anything that anybody might need. Feel free to help yourself with anything. All of it is for everybody.
But there are a lot of good cops out there, and those are the ones that need to be able to feel free to report. And there's been a culture that they are not free to report something bad. So now maybe they can come out of the closet and be able to say, hey brother, you can't do that, and stop it. And get rid of those racist, backward thinking out of the force.
Thank you so much. That's so well said. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good afternoon, y'all. Thank you. I just want to start by saying thank you guys for even showing up this Tuesday afternoon. I know people are busy, people have places to go, but the fact that you guys came here together shows that our community stands for Black lives, and I'm so appreciative, so thank you. So I'm going to go over some safety measures before we start our speeches, because our number one priority in organizing this all today was your safety. We want to make sure that everyone is taken care of, everyone is okay, nobody's fainting from heat exhaustion. So we have a lot of things for you today. So if you guys can look over there. We have a first aid kit. So we have hand sanitizer, we have disposable masks, reusable masks. We got all types of good stuff. So if you have a blister or you cut yourself or something, we have nurses there that will aid you and assist you for today's event. We also have spray bottles in the crowd full of a solution that's half antacid and half water for tear gas. God forbid it's used, but in case it is, we have the necessary measures to help those who are affected by it. We also have a bunch of water bottles and a bunch of snacks. So if you are hungry or anything, just keep in mind we are going to be marching. Make sure to take a water bottle and stay hydrated. It is a pretty hot day. I'm wearing all black. So make sure you guys are staying hydrated. That's key. We don't want anyone passing out. Also, for our marches today, we will be having a first aid van in front of the march. So if anybody is struggling or if anybody gets hurt, please step over to the side. People can help. We believe in the 4 Ps. Protesters protect protesters, period. So make sure that... So not only are we standing for Black lives, but we're standing for each other. So make sure that you guys, if you see something, say something. We don't want anyone taking advantage of this protest. This is a large group of people. So if you see something weird happening, make sure to call it out. Make sure to, if God forbid, if violence starts happening, make sure to peacefully de-escalate the situation. We want to make sure that this is as safe as possible, but your voices are heard. So, Yeah, so we'll have a first aid van that will be following along and have water, snacks, just the necessary goods, first aid, so you'll be protected, you'll be safe, and we'll take care of you. So, on that note, we're going to start with our first speaker today. We can't reveal names of ourselves and our identities, so please, if you are pressed, please refrain from asking us questions because we won't be able to answer your questions for you today. So we'll have our first speaker. If you guys can welcome him with a big applause.
Hello everybody, this is my poem, Being Black in America. Being black in America means forever being angry every time you see cops treating your people like circus animals. Being black means you don't know your friends until you see how they react to racism. Being black means hearing your friends, family talk shit behind your back about your kind. Being black means lies are told more easily about what's done to you because the consensus is you do not belong. Being black means hearing racists tell you to go back to where you're from when this is all you've known. Being black means having your oppression downplayed to fit someone else's reality. Being black means fighting a war that our textbooks tells us has ended. Being black means fighting for other people and getting thrown under the bus when it's their turn. Being black means getting your organs removed and replaced with newspaper, then being rolled up in a mat. The ruling of said offense, a suicide. Being black means you can't go on a run. Being black means you look suspicious to every person who associates your color with violence. Being black means you gotta be calm with the gun pointed to your face. Being black means being tired of being tired. Thank you.
And that is enough. All right. So now we're going to have our next speaker. So if you guys can also keep the applause going as we introduce our next one.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out, and this is my poem called Black Lives Matter. First thing I want to address is I don't care about threats until my black brothers and sisters can walk and poke out their chest and ain't gotta fear for their life and wonder if they'll be next. Ain't gotta be the next hashtag, another shorter success. Can't say the word with the end, but then remain in your silence. Got a brother blue like his suit without a lack of compliance. Bad check. Racism systematic. Can't be mad at Kaepernick if slavery the tree, the cop the fruit, look where the apple is. I'm angry. Anything to say that really explain it, we say black lives really matter, but they fail to retain it. See the evidence in the hands that got the blood, a viral tag, another soul, a body bag, and now they have to debate it? When the looting starts, shooting starts. Look at this honoring thugs. Got a leader rather impotence with monotonous hums. Ain't no gas or no bullet shot with no mask to riot in order. But Alton ain't got a life or a disky sold on the corner. I don't want to hear the all lives, blue lives to the black lives. Walking and waking feel they ain't born with a purpose to die. Brothers walking the street and a baby don't understand. They'll arrest and never indict. See the crime and say that the proof lied. Tired. Forget a target. Stealing fathers from their kids and mothers, cousins, and uncles. They shoot and forget the carcass. All lives can never matter till the black lives do. Try peace for taking an eye, so here's a black eye too. Trayvon will be 25, Michael Brown will be 24, for Sandra is 33, and Tamir will be neck and neck with me. They pray we go divide if you hear him but never speak, but the pioneers bump the records we drop and just know you dead to me. They killing us for jogging and running in peace to Aubrey. They slap a third degree and say Floyd is dead because of arteries. You hear that? Forget of the foot that was on his neck because his history showed conditions like life for him wasn't quality. I'm mad. Brianna really should be here. They shot 8. Being black, we served a plate that opposing could not taste. Philando should be alive. Rest in peace to Castile. Why the ones who set to protect us kill and hate how we heal? So in the future, all lives matter when black lives do. Try peace when taking a knee, so here's a black eye too. It took a whole association to tell Drew it ain't the flag when black people fought the war too with no reward his granddaddy had. Candace Owens said, George Floyd is not a hero, but if a hero to be perfect, who we got? Right, 0. Marine Corps said, no Confederate flag in public bases, we got Black Lives Matter Plaza in D.C. Terry Crews so ignorant, he said, defeating white supremacy without white people creates black supremacy. That's his words. If you for that, rapist and racist, I'd rather you delete me. But what's important? All lives can't matter till black lives do. If you don't want Trump to get reelected, to vote, that falls on you. If we want nation under God and we children made in his image, why we gotta repeat ourselves and say to be white you got privilege? And to the ones that's fighting with us, see the trend, let's break the pattern. And we ain't stopping till they realize black lives always matter.
All right, so now I'll give a warm welcome to our next speaker.
Hello, the name of my piece is Does My Life Matter? Does my life matter? Figured I'd ask if things have really hit the fan. Honestly, I think this level of activism should have started with Sandra Bland. They try to keep us down with confusion and make us stay in our place, but really we should have started back with Freddie Gray. I guess I should be thankful for all the attention the protests have garnered, but really they should have started back with Eric Garner. At this point, I'm tired of being nice. Being passive wasn't cutting it, so we have to bring the fight. If it wasn't for some fear and patience, we would have started back with Tamir Rice. It's obvious that we've waited for too long, based off the things that have drawn on. Truly kings and queens, but they use altered history to make us seem like we've always been pawns. If we really knew our worth, we would have started back with Trayvon. They let Zimmerman get off free, and he turned himself into a celebrity. They let that happen, but try to question our people's integrity. Prison ain't enough, because before we even get the chance to face a jury, we get the death penalty by some neighborhood watch. He wasn't even a cop. How can your jaw not drop? Talking about a just system. That's what you're telling me? Last time that I checked, murder was a felony. But these guys get paid vacations in states where capital punishment still exists. Then wonder why we're losing patience. What's crazy is they label us as the ragers, not realizing that they expose themselves as racist. Because they wasn't saying a word when people walked into a government building in Michigan with automatic weapons, pushing and screaming in police's faces in the middle of a pandemic over haircuts. Now it's to the point where y'all don't scare us. We're gonna react the way we want since y'all decided to dare us. Not mine, but y'all president basically allowed for the genocide of us, while they're saying all lives should be cherished. We as a people agree, but we're waiting to get put on that list. It's not a symbol of hate or violence when we put up a fist. It's a symbol of a request for peace and solidarity, and we want y'all to acknowledge it. But since requests don't seem to work, we head to the streets to get this weight off of our chest. All we're asking is to simply not get killed. If things burn, then they burn. Let all of the smoke fill. Let you see a blaze and sense its heat so you know it's real. Because every time we lose one of our own, on the inside, that's the sensation that we feel. I understand that this is a battle and it's nothing but uphill. But we gotta do something now, because if we don't, eventually we're gonna end up with another Emmett Till. So does my life matter? You can't say yes, because I've seen way too much blood splatter. 400 years of it spilling. It's chilling how we've been affected. We get a death sentence since conception. I'm scared for my child that doesn't even exist. It's a risk for me to even bring a baby into this world. Malpractice is eliminating black boys and girls. But when we were actually born, we live with targets on our backs. Police use my body for target practice. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 shots to the chest. Bullseye. No news coverage, you know what happens. I die in vain, I leak my veins, it fills the red that's on the flags. They wear the blue that's by the stars, and the white is the perpetrators. Let's paint the scene. They hate us but wear our faces on Halloween. Appropriate the culture and pretend they don't know what that means. Claim they understood Martin Luther's dream but ignore us when we plead and scream that we can't breathe. We gasp for air and they can't grasp the despair. They dare say no when we're asked to be treated fair. American dream for them, but for us, the American nightmare. They don't care, but what would you do if you had to stare into your child's lifeless eyes by the hands of whites and then act like racism is a surprise? Ignorance is bliss. They switch from slave chains to cuffs and zip ties. We make up 13% of the US, but other prisons, it's about 75. Say we need to stop complaining, but do you want to switch lives? I'll fit your role and you can play mine. I succeed with ease and get all of these job opportunities while you're forced to hit the streets. I walk and go wherever I want and you get profiled wherever you're seen. I do something illegal and get off. You walk into a store and get labeled a thief. I do something illegal and get off. You jaywalk and get an instant 15. I get a pair of shoes for each day. You have to keep yours for at least a year and a week. You really think you could walk a mile in these? Reality is you couldn't walk 10 feet. That's why we million man marching these with pride. You can threaten my life all you want, but you won't ever hold my stride. They act like this melanin is an outfit, and we put it on. Even if it was, I would never take it off. Cause I know I'm black from head to toe and on the inside. And I know they teach us lies in all of our history books. Like they didn't put drugs in our hoods, strip our native land of its goods, put us in the position to steal so they could label us crooks. And for the cherry on top, give us the shortest month of the year. They terrorize us, but are the ones that are filled with fear. When we lose, they think it's right to cheer. But when we win, they seem to shed a tear. They terrorize us, but are the ones that are filled with fear. They're mad at us and want us to disappear, even though we just want to be peers. They terrorize us, but are the ones that are filled with fear. Craziest part is they don't know real fear. Real fear is wondering if you might lose your kin to someone who's afraid of skin. Real fear is not being able to trust those who were chosen to serve and protect. We resist and they shoot. We don't resist and they shoot. We move and they shoot. We don't move and they shoot. We do nothing and they shoot. We say don't shoot and they shoot us with our hands up. That's why we're not silent and we speak. Speaking up until there's change that we can see. That's why we're protesting until we get equality. That's why we stand for what we believe so we can be seen. And like they said, if there's no justice, then there's no peace. Taking their books and writing our own chapters. 400 years of blood splatter, and I'm still witnessing the pattern. 400 years later, and I'm gonna make my life matter. Thank you.
Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Hello? People in the back, can you hear me? Yeah. Sorry, I wanted to do that. So, I have a poem that I would like to share with you guys. Are you sure this is loud enough? Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, good. So this poem is called Dear White People. Ooh, sheesh. Dear white people, this is not a time for you to run away. Don't disappear like the natives' tears as you made their people fade. Don't hide behind your privileged mind because I know it kills your conscience. Because the hate you give and the life you live is starting to make me feel nauseous. You divided with lines the skin color of my people. Told us if we look closer to you, then we'll be treated more equal. Stepped on our shoulders because you wanted to rule the land and sky. And no, you can't understand because you refuse to leave your privilege behind. It is you that parades the streets, shuffling your feet, unafraid of things because it lets you be. Then there's me, scared of cops, worried about if there's something that I drop. If I picked it up, then I'll be stopped for stealing. It is your people's hate that became your culture. Then you started picking at mine like a blood-hungry vulture. Stay in your lane, which means get off of mine too. The privilege that you carry made you used to the word use. Use the Negro child to let out your anger. Then hide behind the pigs because it takes you out of danger. I don't hate you. But if my ancestors do, then you can't be mad. Because the pains of the whips and the torture devices you created is only as old as your wrinkled ass granddad. Maybe it was your own unhappiness that forced us into silence. It was your insecurities and our capabilities that driven you to violence. You spit on me. And seriously, this fear won't make me run. We aren't weak and we aren't scared, it's just you that holds the gun. Bullets crashed into the bodies of those who fought with spears. So everything we had, which is why your generational wealth goes on for years, my people disappeared. And sometimes I dream about the country in Africa my blood runs through. 65 years later and we just banned the rope that wrapped around my people's neck into their crevices, turning them blue. See, I never understood how you could call me colored with so much pride. When you turn green, red, pink, gray, purple, and blue without you being beaten or having to die. Can't you realize that my ain't and my is the construction of your forced foreign language? The ugliness of oppressed adaptation to understand you as we became the laborers of your people's laziness? I digress. But trust and believe that how I feel is a result of your people's disrespect. How are you scared of us but you shoot us through our chest? How are you the bully but you label me as a threat? But I guess this is a game, and although it changed, it remains the same and it provides my people no rest. We're still shackled. And no, you can't sit here and say that the problems have been tackled. When I see you watch new videos as you scroll on Twitter seeing my people die, do you turn away or shake your head or fill your head with lies? You are part of the problem. And that privileged residue that stays with you as you forget 2 words, excuse me, and expect me to move. And if I don't, you act like I'm not there and try to go through. Me? Nigga, please. That reclaimed shorthand version of your people's hate does not belong to we. But I know that makes you mad. Me being called nigger with the hard R was something you picked up from your dad. If I'm a monkey, then what are you? Your desire to kill, steal, and destroy is a saying that doesn't come out of the blue. Perhaps you heard it when taking a good look through the Bible. Then you flipped it and used it as justification for your wars, but I don't remember those words being the image of a perfect disciple. I feel like I'm being stifled by you and the enjoyment you get from seeing the air fly out of my lungs. That I'm just another casualty of a war you think you won. My people have heart. These years show we are fighters. As your belly fills up with greed, you scream that we should have been made lighter, or quieter, or weaker, or more desperate. The same things that you pushed on me were the same insecurities you listed on your checklist. We're restless. But hey, I'm a firm believer in reaping the seeds that you've sown. Telling people they can't live here when you invaded their homes. That manifest destiny you heard in your head left millions dead. You left scars of trauma on their kin due to your evil within. So next time you look at me like I don't belong here, well I don't. Because your people was the one who brought my along. Like we were livestock. Although we were capable of everything you could do and more. The knob was never locked, it was your people who barricaded the door. Now you left our minds numb. We asked for reparations, but you just call it dumb. You sure do steal a lot for someone who owes a lot of shit. Remind me of what thrill you feel when you become nothing but a piece of it. And no, I'm not anti-white, and a myth is reverse racism. When that Cheeto dust y'all want to make America great is a result of your desire for fascism. When was America ever great? Name a date and a place and say it in my face and best believe I'll make a choice that will change your fate. You stole my food when we could have just shared. You ridiculed my luscious lock but used curling irons and perms to imitate what's not there. You say that my lips are huge but it is feelers that you use. But I never had an issue with me, I think you just got an issue with you. Sometimes, I wish that God could make us all colorblind and rewind time and change the course of history. But the selfishness of ways and the pain that you gave makes alternatives nothing but a mystery. It's misery. But one day, my people will experience true. Thank you. All right, so we are about to start marching. However, I wanted to do a moment of silence for 2 minutes. Can someone put 2 minutes on the clock, team? 2 minutes on the clock? 2 minutes on the clock, 2 minutes on the clock. Good? So if everybody can raise their fist, the right fist, please. We're going to do a moment of silence for 2 minutes, and I'll let you guys know when it's done. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so it's marching time. If you do not have a water bottle on you, please run and go grab one. Make sure you are staying in a buddy system. You have emergency contacts on you. Make sure you are hydrated. We're gonna have someone leading our march. Raise your hand. Right over there, she has a water bottle up. If everybody can point at her, she's gonna be the one leading our march. So please stay hydrated. We have a van following, and it's gonna be our first march of today. So thank you.
All right, take care.
And please feel free to use your voice. No justice, no peace, no racist police. Black Lives Matter. Say his name, George Floyd. Say her name, Colton Taylor. Make sure you're loud, guys. We'll be following around. Stay safe. We got medical people around. So if you need bandage, this house.
Black
what we want? Justice! Take his name! George Floyd! Take his name! George Floyd! Take his name! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! Hey, Wes. Yeah, you see him.
When we get to the end of it. Oh, yeah.
Black Lives Matter! 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 Black Lives Matter!
They make great house-made cheese sauce.